and happy WIP Wednesday. This is Helen at She Sells Yarn and More in very sunny Ormond Beach, Florida. Absolutely beautiful out there this morning. It was 65 degrees when I left the house, but we're going to go up to almost 80. We got a lot of Jeep people in town for Jeep Week, which is always fun because they decorate their Jeeps with ducks and all kinds of things, and it's cool. Nice people. So anyway, okay, so I've been busy, very busy getting in new yarn, putting up kits, putting together prizes and a raffle. We've prepared boxes for our Florida Breast Cancer Foundation Gently Used Clothing drop off, and don't forget you get a free raffle ticket for our prize. And I'll tell you a little secret. Our grand prize is going to be one of the Likey project bags. Just beautiful. So I think Lyra is the name of them. Very excited about that. So in addition to all that, I have found time to knit and crochet. I'm very proud of myself. I'm going to show that first. So this I have to work on when it's quiet and I'm not trying to pay attention to anything. Not because it's difficult, but because it does require some counting. Electric Sun Tea. These are my color choices. This is the crochet along that Sandy is doing. And yes, I do believe I'm showing you the right side. Actually, I don't know that you can tell the difference if there's a right and a wrong side. Either way, it's pretty, at least my view from here. So this is going to be one of my cruise tops. Wear it over a little cami. It's going to be cute. Doing that at a modern cotton DK. Pattern calls for modern cotton. We can do it in both. So especially if Sandy's here to help. So that is some crochet I've been working on. Congratulations to Ann G. I did send an email out to you. Yes, you were the winner. You're right. And I'm sorry it took me a while to get back to you. But you are the winner. You get to pick out your color of Bozzolo. And this is the blue scarf I'm working on. I started with Tish's suggestion for that simple thing or the simple thing. But then, and I really do like the way it started. I like that tip there, which starts with an I-cord tab, I guess you'd call it, I'm thinking. And but look at how beautifully the colors just really flow one into the other, and it's going to just continue to change colors. Here's some. Let me show you if I can show you the inside. So yeah, it's gonna be really, really pretty. Who do I know that likes blue, that would like a nice cuddly cotton scarf? Because great for any season, someplace like Maine, for instance. And super nice and soft, very breathable. So loving that Bozzolo. And that is just a quick one skein project. So I've been working on that just a little bit. And then I have done this much since, let me see if I can get this done right, this much since last Wednesday. I might actually be almost done with it, except I got down to almost the armholes and realized I had really, really lost track of my increases, and you're supposed to have these two knit stitches together here. So I took it out and did it again, and don't you know, I looked back down and realized I had done the same thing. It's actually kind of hard to find, where I have like a knit front and back out of sequence. But I thought, you know, there's so much going on with color and the lace pattern. I don't think it's going to be glaring. So what do you think? So the Gemini top, you can wear it with the lace in the front, or you can wear it in the back and have it solid in front. And this actually, I was surprised, this is just my tail, lays really nice when you put it on. I was afraid it was going to roll, because it kind of does right now. But we'll see when I block it. This is the Brittany, and I will show you, I am going to go find the bottom of it. I have this much left, and I still have to do my ribbing and my sleeves. So, okay. This guy, my baby, she just came out too big. And I just was happily knitting away, very happy with how it came out. I love the side stitch that I did. I don't know if you can see it here. Love that side stitch, the way it came out. I love this pattern, everything about it, the Harriet Fine, the yarn. But I was a very good girl, and when I got to sell it, separate for the arm for the sleeves, I put it on some of the pearl strings. This is that nice stretchy flexible tubing that we have. This is really bright green. Stick either end onto your needle. This is so incredibly helpful. And then it connected my needles so I could leave everything on my needles and try it on. This fits perfectly. I love it. And I did what Mother suggested. I took a top. This one, as a matter of fact, I really like where the bottom hits me. And so I measured it, and it is 22 inches from my shoulder to the hem. And because the neckline's going to vary, you know, that where that's going to hit you. So I am just at 19.5 inches. So I'm going to do a few more rows, and then I'm going to do my ribbing, and then I'll be able to do my sleeves. I might be able to wear this for you guys next Wednesday. Wouldn't that be fun? It's a silk cotton viscose. It's just so much fun. We have such beautiful colors, some a little more subtle than this, but I just think this is so beautiful. I'm very, very super pleased with it. So anyway, that's just been really fun to do. Oh, okay, let me tell you, I changed this up a little bit. So mine might look a little different from yours if you've done the Gemini. I know a lot of people have. It's been around for a long time. Super, super fun pattern. I started, first of all, with the extra small because I knew I wanted a small neckline. So after casting on and doing the extra small neckline, I just continued to do the increasing for the size that I wanted at my bust. So, which I think was the second size. So not a lot of bustiness going on here. So then when I started doing this lace pattern, it requires knit two together, yarn over twice, knit two together. Then when you come back, you do a knit and purl in the yarn over, the double yarn over. So that was making the holes very large. I mean, look how big they are. So instead of doing that and then you knit a row, no, you don't. So you do the yarn over twice, then you go back knitting the row, doing a knit and purl and that double yarn over. Then you repeat those two rows. But instead of repeating those two rows, instead of doing the double yarn over in the alternate rows, I did just one yarn over, and then I did a knit front and back in it, and that tightened things up for me. So it's not quite as open and loose. And so yeah, that's what I did, and I'm happy with it, and I'm really, really glad I did that. So it's just me. I just have a really loose gauge. Doesn't even matter what size needle, what kind of yarn. I'm just loose, let's face it. And so I make adjustments as necessary. And like, for instance, I think the yarn called for a 7 in the pattern, and I just went down to a 5, and I'm very happy with my fabric, the way that came out. Oh, people scared me. I was showing it, and they're like, ah, you have a hole, you have a hole. Well, that's where I connected my yarn, and since it isn't woven in yet, yeah, it does look like I have a hole, but thank goodness it is not a hole. So what do you think? Do you like it? Gemini top in Brittany, which is a silk cotton viscose. Feels really, really nice. I'm looking forward to blocking it and seeing how a nice soak works with that cotton. And okay, so that's not all I've been knitting though. Okay, before I show you this, I'm going to tell you I got mail yesterday. It was surprise mail from my good friend Mary Ann Falkenberg, who also happens to be my mother-in-law. She sent me a bag of needles and a couple of other knitting gadgets, notions, and her basic pattern for a baby hat. She included, this was 10 cents, when she originally got it. I don't know when it was published. I don't know if it has a date. Oh, 1948. It was copyright by the American Thread Company. It's a beginner's manual for knitting, crochet, and tatting. And it has how-to stitches in it, as well as some beginner patterns, mittens. Yeah. They said, now you're ready to make these. Okay. Well, I don't know that after learning basic knit and purl I'd be doing. But anyway, here's the sad part. Very kind of her to gift me these plus some needles. She said the arthritis has gotten to the point where she can't knit anymore. So she gifted me the needles, asked me to pass them on in case somebody had a need. And now this pattern, though, has some history. I don't know how long she's been using this pattern. You cast on 60 stitches, you do a rib, a knit 2, purl 2 rib for 6 inches, and then you knit 2 together to the end of the needle. Do 1 row of purl, because this is knit flat, and then you repeat, knit 2 together to the end of the needle and purl till you only have 8 stitches, and then you finish it off, sew it up, and voila, you have a little baby hat. So if I remember correctly, Marianne was using a sport weight yarn, also known as baby yarn. This hat can be done in anything, but this woman did like a bazillion of these hats, not kidding. At a volunteer lunch for the hospital, she got a medal and award because she did a bazillion of these hats. And every time I saw her knitting, she was doing one of these hats, and she gifted them to the hospital in Chicago. I can't remember which hospital it was. I should have checked with her before I told you guys this story. But there's a lot of babies out there over the years who have worn one of these little hats from Marianne Falkenberg. So well done. While you could knit, you were doing a very, very good thing with your knitting. So yes, cast on 60 stitches, do a knit 2, purl 2 rib, and until you get to 6 inches, or the height of the hat you want. You do a dramatic knit 2 together, decrease until you get down to 8 stitches, and then I think she would put the yarn through those 8 stitches and pull it up tight. Pretty sure that's what she was doing, although these instructions don't say that. So congratulations, Marianne, on your wonderful achievement of a bazillion hats for a bazillion babies who are born in Chicago. And if you're watching this, make a note of the name of the hospital. But yeah, always a good thing. You know, we do hats for sailors. As a matter of fact, I am going to put the word out. We're collecting as many as we can because Memorial Weekend, I am going to put them all together and ship them off. So they are still sending them out twice a year to both veterans as well as active military who are deployed from the Navy and the Coast Guard. And I know these hats come in handy, cold out there on the water. And I also heard from some retired Air Force, they had helmets that they wore on the flight line, and they said those hats are great. They make the helmet so much more comfortable. Doesn't need to be a fancy hat, must be done out of 100% wool. Okay, so that's my little blurb. And I want you to know I did buttons. So I asked the Thursday Zoom group, another opportunity to remind you, on Thursdays at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, we still have a Zoom hosted by Gail, who's out in California. Bless her heart, she'll do that despite the time difference. And yeah, they are an incredible assortment of women. My go-to when I need help, and I needed help. What buttonhole? What is the best buttonhole you've used? Several of them said the 1-row buttonhole. They sent me to a website, and there's actually several opportunities. It makes a very, very sturdy buttonhole. You're done with it in 1 row. And so this is a chunky yarn. I did it over 4 stitches, so I have a nice size button, because I thought with this chunky cardigan, little buttons would look kind of silly. And if you look at the picture, this is the Bellows cardigan. If you look at the pattern on Ravelry, you'll see they have some nice big buttons. So people ask me, what kind of button are you going to put on your sweater? Well, I'm making my own. And here's my first one. This is a Dorset button. There are lots of YouTube videos, and I will try to find the one that I use. And I was testing it out, and yes, this button does fit through my buttonhole, nice and sturdy, and yeah, perfect match. Used the yarn I'm using for my sweater for my button, and let me show you that up close real quick. So these Dorset buttons are so cool. So I've also done a Yorkshire button. It's bobbly. It's like a bobble, like a round ball. And I wasn't sure it would be sturdy enough to stand up to it. I'm going to try it after I get done with these and just see what I think. But they are so cute. So yes, this, put my sleeves on. Oh, okay, the reason I haven't actually finished it is I have to admit, when you get your buttonholes done, you do a couple more rows of rib. Then it wants you to go back to do some more short rows to finish up the shawl collar. And it says things like, knit to the first stitch marker. I didn't know it was going to do that, so I took my stitch markers out when I thought I was done with the short rows. So I just got to sit down and calculate where those stitch markers are supposed to go back in. Duh. Okay, this is why they tell you, read through your pattern. And yeah, so how long have I been knitting? And I knit pretty good. I mean, I know I've got really loose gauge, and sometimes I don't pay attention to what I'm doing. Yeah, I do that a lot, not with just knitting, but I always am learning something new, and that's what I love about being in the shop. People come in, you're always learning something new. On our Zoom, always learning something new. So much fun. So, okay, so before I go, because this is getting kind of long, I have one question, Marianne Falkenberg. This was in with the needles. I have no idea what this is or what it does. It's really sturdy, heavy duty. And so, yeah, if anybody else knows, or Marianne, I could hurt somebody with this, but I won't, I promise, but it's pretty cool. So, okay, I think that's it. I hope to see a lot of you this Saturday for local yarn shop day. We're going to have prizes. We're going to have special discounts, food, tangos, macarons by Kate, yummies, and people have offered to bring in goodies. So I know Michelle's making something yummy. And so anyway, I hope to see you there for our big celebration. You guys come in and celebrate us so we can celebrate you. All right, you guys go and make some beautiful things, and we'll see you hopefully Saturday. If not then, next Wednesday. Bye-bye.